Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Power Rangers review for you today. This is the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger from the new Legacy collection. These figures are brand new. I just found this at Target today. A lot of them were shown off at San Diego Comic-Con that just happened this weekend. And I believe there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive kind of translucent Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin. Obviously, this is the Green Ranger. Now, from what they've said, the 6 Rangers will not come with Build-A-Figure parts for the Megazord, but instead he has extra accessories. So as you can see here, he has the Sword of Darkness, and he has the Dragon Dagger. I think it's a pretty nice looking figure here. I really like the packaging it comes in. I think that's pretty neat. You can see there's a window on the side, so you can see him. Not really much going on the bottom there. But you can see on the back, like this is the Build-A-Figure for this wave with Mighty Morphin is the Megazord. So the torso comes with red. One of the arms comes with black. Blue has the blue leg. Yellow has the yellow leg. And the other arm comes with pink. And then if we take a look here on the bottom, the wave assortment here is Mighty Morphin red and green. And then Ninja Storm red, yellow, and blue. The 3 of these guys come with Build-A-Figure parts for the Ninja Storm Megazord. And then he comes with a Build-A-Figure part for the Mighty Morphin Megazord. And then he just has the extra accessory. So I believe the next wave is going to have pink, yellow, blue, and black. So you can complete your Megazord, but you won't be able to do it yet. But you can complete the Ninja Storm Megazord if you buy the whole first wave. So like I said, pretty nice packaging. I like it a lot, but we'll go ahead, we'll bust them out, and we'll take a closer look. So here's the figure out of the packaging, and I have to say, he looks pretty good. Comes with a couple accessories. Obviously, here you have the Sword of Darkness. You have the Dragon Dagger, which is pretty nicely detailed. Nicely painted. And they didn't just do the same thing on both sides. Like, they have the gold tubing there on the one side, and the other side is painted appropriately. For the Sword of Darkness, there's not much to it, but there's some detail etched into it. Mostly just the red jewel and the black handle. Then he comes with the, flute, what would you call that? Satchel? That's on. Holster. That's the word, holster. Haha. Then he comes with 2 alternate hands, which are just a little bit wider. The 2 hands that he comes with are kind of standard. They're a little bit tighter. I believe the stuff can still fit in here. Yeah, that looks good. Let me zoom out here. He looks good holding the Sword of Darkness. I guess maybe if you wanted to just show him like playing the flute, I could see. If you wanted to kind of if he's holding it with the one hand, and then using the other hands on the flute like that. I'll try to put something like that together. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. You can see there's just a little hole right there on the side. So that just plugs straight in there. Very simple. Looks good. Go ahead and slide the flute right in there. Fits perfectly. Looks really nice. Really, really looks good. Alright, let's go through. I'll take this out of his hand and we'll go through articulation. Head can swivel from side to side and also move up and down. You have a joint for the shoulder. That's pretty typical for action figures, in and out and also around. Now it's hindered a little bit by his green shield, but not terrible. You have a bicep swivel. You have 2 joints here in the elbow, so where it meets the shoulder piece, or I should say upper arm piece, bicep piece, and then actually in the elbow. So you can get him to do pretty nice bends there. And that's one of the things that I'm always scared of with Marvel Legend figures. These 2 joints right here, I always feel like I'm going to break them with Marvel Legends, but I really don't with this. It's like, I don't want to say it's loose, but it's as loose as it needs to be. It's not overly loose to the point that it feels like it's going to break or fall off. It's just smooth and fluid when you move it back and forth, which is nice. Then you have a swivel at the glove, and then you have kind of a standard swivel here for the wrist, but also you can move the whole thing around. And then there's a second ball joint where the hand is, so that you can pop these off. And they pop off. Of course, now it's going to prove me wrong. They pop off fairly easily. But let me zoom in. You can see it's kind of like a figure art where you can move this up and down. You can also, once it's moved, turn it all the way around. And then you can also, of course, put the hand, pop the hand back on the ball joint. Oh, come on. Now it's going to be difficult. Okay, and we're back. I don't know why I always have such trouble getting these hands back on the little ball joints. It's just a personal thing. Something wrong with the figure. I just personally have trouble with that. So any case, you saw how the wrists move. He does have an ab crunch, as you can see there. Pretty nice. And then, of course, he has waist movement side to side. For the hip, he has out to the side movement there. You can see how the joint is all the way around like that. Pretty nice side kicks and front kicks. Then he has a thigh swivel right here, which you can move. Mine's a little tight just because it's brand new, but you can move that. Then, of course, again, you have the two joints in the knee, which work really nice. Same as the elbows. Again, feel pretty solid, nice and fluid. Don't feel like they're going to break or anything. Then you have, again, a boot swivel. And then you have the typical kind of down and up a little bit ankle that can also rotate from side to side. So these really have lots of points of articulation and posability, and they feel pretty solid. They're not like, and I love Marvel Legend figures, don't get me wrong, but some of those joints really do worry me sometimes, and these don't. Like, just all around, this figure looks good. Just for fun, this is the Armored Might Green Ranger from a couple years ago during Super Megaforce. And I just think this, hands down, it's a better shade of green. It's more screen accurate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this figure. I just think this has 10 times more posability. Well, I guess that's not true. He did have the boot swivel. He's only got one knee and one elbow. But see, this is another thing that always bugged me about these Armored Might figures. These weird, like, gold bands that they used to have to, like, clip on, or you'd have to pull the arm off and slide it up, and then it would never stay. They fixed this. They just painted them on the figure, which is what they should have done in the first place. This is kind of like a goldish color, but this is actually like a sharp gold paint. You can see this is shinier and just looks better in general. I mean, the paint on the Morpher is so much better. This guy seems way more roided out than this guy does. This is like a normal human's proportions, whereas these were kind of really super buff and a little strange looking. I mean, you can see the paint here on this Dragon Dagger is not even close to the paint on this one. The helmets still look pretty good. I think both helmets look good. But I think it's just night and day when you see them next to each other that I think everyone would pick this figure over this one. It just seems more in the correct proportions. The paint and the coloring and everything is just a little bit more accurate. I mean, not to say this is a terrible figure, because it's not. I just think this one is definitely better and more love was put into. I always thought these weird calf muscles were strange. They worked. It was a little weird. I mean, from the back, you can see there's no screw holes on the new figure, especially the weird one on his butt. I just think everything works better over on this figure. It's slimmed down, but the way you want to. I mean, there's tiny little holes here, but they're not screw holes. They're the kind of pin, same with the knees. Like, that's just how, the figure is made. It's how it works. This one had real obvious screw holes on the back. So I just thought it'd be fun to do a little comparison, because that's a recent figure. I think that's from like 2012, 2013. Yeah, these are just really nice. I'll try to see if I can come up with a cool pose with him holding the dagger. So as you can see, you can have him hold the flute up to his mouth. Now, I'm not fantastic at posing figures. I unfortunately never have been. But the shield hinders it slightly, but it's really not a big deal. You can definitely get it up to his mouth. You could even bring his mouth down a little bit to the side if you wanted. And he can definitely play the flute. And I think that just looks fantastic. That's definitely not something that I think the other figure could do, because it just didn't have you know, the amount of, with the extra elbow joint, I think, and the hand joint just works a little bit better. I think that looks really nice. So these really are fantastic figures. When I first heard they were doing a legacy line that was a larger size than the kind of action figures that we've been getting, I was a little upset only because when they did the Super Megaforce line, they had all those Red Rangers and 6th Rangers that were in the 5-inch scale, and I kind of wanted to add to that because I'm going to have to rebuy some figures that I already have in order to get them all in this new kind of between 6 and 6.5-inch scale. So I was a little upset at first, but now that I have one in hand, they got me. These are just great figures, and I'm sure I'll rebuy all the characters I already have. And if they really do plan to do every Ranger in this new size class, which is what they claim to want to do, I don't know if the line will get all the way there because it's a large commitment, and the sales are going to have to be consistent for them to keep going. But as of right now, they say they want to do every figure, every character from Power Rangers, every Ranger. I'm in. I mean, they got me. They're nice figures, great articulation. The articulation feels smooth. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. You could just really get some nice poses. Let me try to smooth out his foot, which I know you can do. I mean, they're just great looking figures. Lots of posability. If they're all going to be in the same scale, I think this is a good scale to work with because you can get a nice level of detail without having... When you shrink figures down and to fit price points, you're going to have to just sacrifice detail. And they've done a good job, and they've picked a good scale where they're not too expensive. They're about $20 each, but you can get a lot of nice detail and posability out of them. I mean, this has kind of become the new size class. You have Star Wars Black figures, you have Marvel Legends. You know, this is kind of what's become the new acceptable size class, you know, around 6 inches. And it makes sense. I mean, you can get a nice level of detail, a lot of posability, and Power Rangers has followed suit, and they have not disappointed. I definitely think these are nice figures. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger from the new Power Rangers Legacy Collection, and thanks for watching.